Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and Merman, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, going to be working on this. This is my mate Mark's. He's a landscape gardener and what have you. And my mate Mark, this is his Stihl 020T top handle chainsaw. It's quite an old one, but he's got a bit of a problem with it, and he's already had a little go at it and give up. And the problem is, he thinks the exhaust has snapped on it. He's already taken the bolts out the bottom. Cheers for that, Mark. He says, Mick, how does that go in there? Don't know. So I've not done one before, but I'll have a look into it. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So Mark has he's purchased the new exhaust, proper Stihl part. Part for this is 1129140. I can't read that. It looks like 0562, I think. Can't read it. It's a bit unlegible. But he bought the exhaust pipe for it. Now, what I said to him is I can do it once I figure out how to do it. But where's the bolts gone in there? Because I'm convinced there's a gasket. Looking at the diagram, there's a gasket between the engine and the exhaust. How do I fit that into there and line the gasket up without the bolts in place? So I went down to see my good friends down at D&M Chainsaws, and they supplied me with 2 new bolts and a new gasket for it. So I've got those bits anyway. So I thought, well, whilst it's a bit quiet today, I'm going to nip down the shed, just run my CAS up, my Lawn Flight Pro up. I wanted to get run up. I thought I'd a little crack on that. He says it all runs. It says it all runs lovely. He said, but it's just a bit noisy, and the exhaust is doing that. So, right, let me get situated up on the bench and then we'll go from there. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, then subscribe to my channel. There's about 80% of you guys and girls that watch these videos and you're not subscribed. Subscribing is free. It don't cost you nothing. It just helps towards my numbers and towards my algorithm. So if you want to see more videos of how to repair bits and pieces of your lawn equipment, hit the subscribe button and set your notifications to all rather than personalised. That way you'll be notified whenever I release a video. So make sure you do that. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. Let me get resituated with the camera, and then we'll have a go at taking this 020T exhaust pipe out of this machine, put it back in. He's having it as is. That's how it come to me. That's how it's going back. So he's got all the bar and chain and stuff, and we'll sort it out. So let's try and get this exhaust out. Right, so let's have a little gander at what's going on. So he's removed the 2 bolts off the bottom, there and there. And he can't get that exhaust pipe out. Now that exhaust is actually split. You can see it's actually split in 2. It's fractured in 2 parts. You can see it there. It's moving. Okay. So the exhaust, it goes in like so. That's the imprint. That's how it's going to sit. Okay. So it's got to come up and out. Okay. So I would say let's have a little bit of a clean up first. Now he did say it's a bit dirty, Mick, but don't worry about that. I'll sort that, he said. Well, it needs to be sorted before I can work on it. Just so I can see if there's anything hidden or anything untoward. Now I've just got some old stale petrol here, which is just what I use for cleaning bits and pieces up. Grab a little tiny toothbrush, they're best. Mrs. P's toothbrush, don't tell her I've got it. And just literally start to have a bit of a clean up, because cleaning reveals secrets. It looks like there's a little bolt there. There's a little bit of a clean up, nothing too drastic, just so I can see what's going on. Now, straight away, just by having a little bit of a clean up, I can tell straight away that this part of this door here, that's got a bolt across it and it's got a line across it. Now it's not broken, that's as is. So that will actually move. So I wonder if I take that one out, that should then alleviate me a bit of room to remove that out. So let's just take that my fit in there. Mick was a bit of dirt in there, maybe. We'll see. Let's go. Right. Let's take this bolt out. Let's have him out. Take that out. Now, where's my box of bits? Always have a little box of bits, guys and girls. Chinese tubs are brilliant for this. A little screwdriver. So now, I'm guessing that this should just pop up somehow. Yeah, there you go. All right. How does that come apart up that end? I'm always looking to see how things come apart. So it just sits in a little tiny recess. A little tiny recess just there, and that sits in. It's a little tiny hole just in there. Okay. So now that exhaust should come straight out. So there's the exhaust. Happy with that. Now there should be a gasket. Now what I'm inclined to do is another clean up, get rid of all this muck and dirt that's inside here. That can all come out. Now's a good time to check the exhaust port as well. It's a bit of a clean. So yes, what I'm going to do, just going to spend the next 5 minutes just having a good general clean up all inside here. Clean these fins up as well, because that's a bit of a bash there. Someone's dropped it by the looks of it. General tie up. Now I'm hoping the gasket is on there. If it is on there, it can stay on there, because if not, you've got to find a way of fishing this back in with the gasket attached. And look, there's no room for fingers, right? That's what I'm saying. So if the gasket stays put, I'm happy. If not, then it's what it is. But here's the old exhaust, and as you can see, there's a fracture just right across there. There it goes. That's actually broken. There you go. Big fracture right across it, and that's common for these. Right, so let me go off camera, quick tied up with my toothbrush, and I'll come back to you on what's got looking a bit more cleaner. Right, so a little bit of a clean up in there, nothing hideous, just a bit more so I can see what's going on. That's all it is. I'm going to spend half my day just cleaning this machine off. So I have located the old gasket. Now it wasn't actually on, it was stuck in the back there. I never found it because of how dirty it was. So that gasket, that's got to sit on the exhaust like that. Now the problem you're going to have is getting this exhaust into its little tiny hole, right? Because space is very tight. Now that gasket has already just come off just by me tipping that up in there. Okay, so you're going to have problems fitting the gasket on as well. So what I recommend is, I think, bearing in mind it's my first time of doing it, I'm going to remove this bolt here and the one underneath it. Now what I'm hoping is that will just give us a little bit of sideways movement on this bottom plate. So that will just give us a bit more room just to manipulate this plate in place. So I'm going to take these two out very gently. Take that one out. I've had a thinner ones off for two. Come on, Mr. Plate. Give me the bolt. Right. So now, by doing that, that will give you just a little bit, not a lot, a little bit of just bending going on. There's no holes here for me to take out here at all, but I should be able to just have that go in. Okay. Now I've got a little tiny trick here, which I didn't think of myself. Okay, because I'm not one into giving credit for my own work. Okay, I like to pick up tips, tricks, and bits and pieces, especially off of my good friends who are also mechanics. So how do you get that in? Right, there came some gasket glue on there, maybe some instant gasket mate, but it had to be a heat treatable one. Okay, but if you haven't got that, then just do something simple, right? And my very good friend over at Ken's Small Engines Repair, he said, get like a hairband. Hairband. Do I look like the kind of bloke that's got a hairband? I don't. I've got a few nipple tassels, but no hairbands. So what I decided was, to have a hairband, I've got this big set of O-rings here, which I think the lawnmower lady put me onto. Huge big set of, we love an O-ring. Because these have got some of the ones that fit the Honda style jets and what have you. So massive set of these, 15, 40 piece, 32 size O-ring kit, right? So, thought that. Kenny gave me an idea. He said, just literally put your gasket in place where you want it, right? He said, and then just get a little tiny band, like a rubber band. Has to be quite small. Have it so that your gasket is in place. And once it's in place, you can then cut that, put your bolts in just loose, so it's got the gasket, and then cut your band, and it should be pretty good. So thank you very much to my very good friend Kenny over at Ken's Small Engines Saloon, Small Engine Repair. I like to give thanks to people when they help me. I like to show a bit of thanks and support. And I know other channels are not quite so forthcoming in doing that, but I like to, because I'm just that warm, kind, lovable kind of guy. You know, Kenny, you know what I mean, Kenny. Right. Anyway, so let's get back to it, Mick, because you're getting distracted, Mick, and we all know how easy distracted you can get, Mick. Right. So now, bless you, Pip. Right. So now what I want to get this into position, right? I want to get my bolts ready, but just so we know, we have to try and have it going that way, bump, but that gasket's got to stay put, right? Now it's pretty good where it is. Just going to try and, if I can just move, oh, that's perfect. I like that. Right, that's got it, look. It's only just going to move an absolute fraction. But, so now, with that little tiny Ken Small Engines top trick, I love seeing Kenny's tips. Right, we can now hope to try and slide this into place. And you're going to have to watch it as you put it in. That's gone in, first time. And I actually saw that gasket. If you pull it back enough, you can just see that gasket is still in place. So that's where it needs to be. So now, I'm not going to muck about, because the more it manoeuvres about, the less chance I've got of getting those exhaust bolts in place. All the way up. I just want to make sure that's bitten. Yeah, that's bitten. Now what I'm going to do is, once these are in place, I'm going to cut the band, and then I'm going to, I will remove said band, and then I shall just take these bolts up one by one, just put a bit of heat treat in them. Oh, that one's not going up. There it goes. It's just gone up. All right, just going to get it started. I think that's got it. Just going to back it off a touch. I'm going to get my little tiny torch. Where is my torch? I just want to double check that that gasket is in place. I can see the gasket. There's a gasket, there's a gasket, there's a gasket. Right, yeah, so just so you know, because I know what you lot are like, right? Because none of you lot believe me. I'm the most hated small engine bloke out there. I know you are. I know what you think of me. I don't really care. I've got big shoulders. Let me show you if I can show you. Right, here we go. Going in, light behind. Hang on, right. So you can see, there's the little tiny band, and you can see, trying to get in there. There you go. Right, there you go. You should be able to just about see the gasket is not up the top of the bolt. It's actually on the bottom of the exhaust there. I can see it from here, okay? I will try and zoom in so you can see it even better, but the gasket looks to be in place, okay? So thank you very much to my very good friend Kenny. He's an absolute lathe of information, that man, I tell you, a lathe of information. So that I can see is now as is. I can see the bottom bolt too, and the gasket. I just want to double check that is actually the gasket. I'm sure it is. I'll put no muck in there, Mick. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's in. Right, so now, all we know what to do. Kenny said, all you've got to do now is cut that O-ring, and that O-ring will just pop straight out. Now, it's a little tiny tips like this, right? That can either make or break your day. Because without people like Kenny, you would be there all day long fighting without to do that. So that's a really, really good, useful tip. And that's what the small engine group is all about. It's all about helping each other grow their channels, tips, trips and advice. And my mate Kenny, Mr. Mow-It-All, he is an absolute... Now what I need to do, I need to get hold of this, because if I just don't, then what will happen is it's going to go inside there. I won't be able to retrieve it. So I'm going to get hold of it. I'm going to get a pair of long nose pliers. I want a pair of long nose pliers or short nose pliers. I want to cut it and keep hold of it. Otherwise it's going to go behind the exhaust. Like that. So I keep hold of it and now cut it. That should then give me that. Right, that's got it. Right, now can I fish it out? Yeah, there you go. Ha ha! Intact. Beautiful. So now I know that the exhaust is in. The ring has come out. It's got the gasket on it. I wonder how many people, right, put these on, right, and don't put that gasket on. There must be a bit. There must be a percentage, because without taking the whole machine apart, which is not something I want to do, it's quite an achievable job. Done inside 45 minutes to an hour. That's now chatting up nice. It's nice, isn't it? When you get a little tip like out for someone, they're going to help you out a little bit. Let's wind these up. This exhaust should sound absolutely 110% different to what it did beforehand. That I do know. Right, that's on. The now what's left to do is to get my two little tiny bolts. Two small, one, I've got three here. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So this one here has got to go into there. And that will secure up there somewhere. Should don't want to go in, so try that one first, Mick. Get that one to bite. That one's gone. So thank you, Kenny. You've just saved me about, I don't know, another half hour's work. And that's what we like, tips and tricks. There will be a shout out for you there, Kenny boy. Hope you appreciate it. I know you do, Kenny. My old buddy, my old fruit. I dare say Hank would have given me a tip on this, how to do this, but it's trying to catch Hank awake long enough to get the tip off of him. He almost spends half a day asleep in his bloody chair. You know what Hank's like. And obviously you've got Luke, my mate, Mend It Man Luke, where he spends half his day down the gym flexing at the moment because he's trying to attract the opposite sex. And, well, that's not going very well, actually. In fact, I said to Luke, why don't you just become gay? You'd make a good gay. I think he would. Put a comment in the comment section if you think Luke would make a good gay. I think he would. I've got nothing against gays. My son's gay. It's fine. No problem. I'm just saying, he's not having much luck with the women. Maybe Luke could try the opposite sex, or the same sex. He might get a bit of benefit out of it. Anyway, back to the video. Don't want to keep going on about that all the time. Exhaust is now in place. This little inspection. Now remember how this went. This has got a little tiny divot here. Look, a little tiny divot just there. All right. That's got to go inside that little tiny hole just there. Okay. Little tiny tubby, hold it up. Yeah, poor old Luke. Anyway, enough about Luke. That's got to go into there now, like that. And then that just has got to sit in there, slides in place. Watch it evolve. Watch it evolve. It's happening. Why not go in there? That's got a clip in there somehow, Mick. There you go, that's gone. Right, we're happy with that. And that little tiny bolt there, it's got a little tiny bit of dirt in there, so I'm going to fish that out. So my mate Marky boy, Mark, he runs a business called Mark Make It Wild. He's a bit of a wild fella too. He's got a bit of a crazy haircut going on. A bit like Luke, funny enough. Luke's got curly hair, looks like sticking a dump, and my mate Mark looks more like dunking this in the skid. He's just, I'm sure they're related. Right, that's that on. Happy with that. We're happy with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove one bolt at a time to put a little bit of Loctite on there. Right, I was just a bit conscious that I didn't want this one Loctite is. I didn't want that gasket to go for a Burton, so I've got some thread locker Loctite. There it is there, and I'll just take one bolt out and put a bit on there, put the other one in as well, just to help them stay, because they get a bit hot in there, and what we don't want is those bolts to come back out again. So I'll do it off video. It's no biggie, but there you go. Good little tip actually. So that's quite common for these style exhausts. They do just fracture right across that line. See that line there? Look, they do fracture right across. And if I took that bolt out of there. I took that bolt out, like this one, which is, because these exhausts, you can actually separate them. And you can actually modify them too, actually, which is quite nice. Put a modification on them to port them out. You can do that. I don't do it. But you can take that part off there, and then that, there's another one, a bolt there to do, but anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. That will actually then come straight off like that, see? Does that? So, yeah, that's where they fracture. You could probably even weld that up if you wanted to. But anyway, my mate Mark from Make It Wild, he'd be well happy with that. Where's that bolt come from? Oh, that exhaust. There you go, brand new exhaust fitted, what, in 25, 30 minutes, something like that, plus cleaning downtime. But he'd be happy with that. That's in there solid, ain't going nowhere. He says it runs. He says it runs lovely. I'm not even going to get involved in that. He says it runs. I don't think he'd be investing in a brand new exhaust if it didn't run, do you? So thank you very much to my very good friend Kenny over at Ken's Small Engine or Ken's Small Engine Saloon or something. I don't know. I get confused. For the tip and trick on using the hairband, because I have no hair, but I use a little tiny O-ring. So if you have a gasket that needs to stay in place, rather than using gasket glue, can use a little tiny hairband sort of thing, or a little tiny elastic band, and that goes into place like that. Bang. So I did see one other video on this, and the bloke struggled for about 25 minutes trying to get that on there, and he wasn't even sure when he got the exhaust pipe fitted if the gasket was actually on there. He wasn't even sure because he couldn't see. So you need to make sure they're on there because that's important. So that is how you work around that little issue there. So I'm quite happy with that. A little sexy little tip from my mate Kenny. And Kenny has got a sexy little tip, let me tell you. Apart from Luke hasn't got one because Luke should be gay. But anyway, that's that. I'm not going to keep going on about Luke being gay because I don't want to put pressure onto him just in case he is. I feel bad then, wouldn't I? No, I wouldn't. I'd fancy him. Anyway, I've always told him if I was gay, I would. Do you know what I mean? Only hurts a second time. Right, so that's that. Quick little video for you there on a Stihl 020, how to change the exhaust for a brand new one. In about half hour, 20 minutes, with a bit of yakkering from me, of course, Micks Mowers, because Micks Mowers with Micks Mowers, there's some chatting, would I? Do you know what I mean? That's what I do. So that's that. I've got to just get an air filter in now for my Lawn Fight Pro, and then I've got to get on down here. I've got some machines down here to do. I've got a Quocast 14 or 17 SK carburetor's had it, gone. But I've got a spare Kawasaki engine over there, so I'm going to put the carburetor onto that one. I've got an Atco Balmoral to do, that'd be nice. And then I've got to get outside and do all the stuff out there. So I've got loads to do, loads of content for you for this year. I'm on it like a tramp on chips. I actually feel very, very good. Lost another couple of pounds since I last seen you, which is brilliant. We're off out walking every day, bits and pieces. We're doing it. I'm doing it, people. I feel really good. I feel really energised. I feel really good, actually. I feel really good. So that's that. So there you go. Oh, my mate Pete up in Reading, also, he just picked up a lawnmower for me. I found it on eBay, and he went and picked it up for me. My mate Pete Froud. You know Pete Froud, BR500 Pete? That's him. He's went and picked that up for me, and he might even try and get it running for me. I don't know. You know what Pete's like? He likes to get involved with it, doesn't he, old Pete? You know what Pete's like? Fingers and thumbs and paws and thumbs in pies everywhere I look. Old Pete. He's got a thumb in every pie I know. He's worse than me for thumbs in pies, that boy. Right, so there you go. And I must say, he does like a pie, especially steak and ale pie. So there you go. Well, I'm done. I'm waffling because I'm bored, and I've probably had too much protein. Probably what it is. So there you go. I'm nearly down to a target, milestone in my weight, which is brilliant. I feel really, really good. I'm back at work this week. I'm doing really well, looking after myself, and yeah, good. So don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and lots of people who watch my channel are not subscribed, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel, set your notifications to the all bit. That way, every time I release a video, you can get a notification. And guess what? Even better, it is free. I don't know why they call it subscribe. Subscribe normally means you've got to pay money. You don't. This is free. So hit my subscribe button and leave me a nice little comment. If not, leave me a nasty one, and I will definitely reply to that. You know me. So there you go. Quick little video for you. Micks Mowers and Merman. Stihl 020. Exhaust change. Done, dusted. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you like that sort of video, Micks Mowers and Merman, hit the old subscribe button. It's free. Whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload a video. And I look forward to you girls and guys next time. Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take care easy.